Yo, static on the screen while I'm booting up the system. 95 aesthetic, but the youngsters might have missed them. I'm sitting in the glow of a CRT monitor, a Gen X king, the digital era chronicler. Got the D20 rolling on the mahogany table, streaming live content through a fiber optic cable. I'm a dungeon master weaving tales of the ancient while the chat room is buzzing and the viewers getting patient. From the shy to the stars, yeah, I'm bridging the gap with a map of the galaxy laid out on my lap. I'm the captain on the bridge, I'm the rogue in the night, keeping retro culture burning like a neon light. Total Trek plays, yeah, we're live on the air, from the Delta Quadrant to the Dragon's Lair. Got the cartridges stacked and the dice in the tray, just a 95 vibe at the end of the day. Total Trek plays, keep the signal real strong, where the nerds and the geeks and the legends belong. I got Optimus Prime standing guard on the shelf, transforming the world while I'm being myself. Collecting G1 figures, mint condition in the box, while I'm breaking every code and I'm picking every lock. It's a link to the past, got the master sword drum, been grinding in the dungeon since the early break of dawn. Hyrule is the mission and the Triforce is the goal. Got that ocarina melody deep inside my soul. Switching over to the track, set the phases to stun, because the final frontier is where the real work is done. Boldly going where the casuals never dared to tread, with a Vulcan logic spinning inside of my head. Total Trek plays, yeah, we're live on the air, from the Delta Quadrant to the Dragon's Lair. Got the cartridges stacked and the dice in the tray, just a 95 vibe at the end of the day. Total Trek plays, keep the signal real strong, where the nerds and the geeks and the legends belong. Yeah, may the force be with the stream, I'm a Jedi with the flow, lightsaber gleaming in the purple evening glow. Between the empires, reaching clinging empire's pride, I'm the bridge between the worlds with the viewers by my side. No CGI needed, just the sprites and the pixels, dealing with the trolls and the digital dismissals. I'm a relic of the era when the gameplay was king, before the microtransactions and the vanity bling. Just a man and his hobbies in the basement sanctuary, writing out the pages of a geeky glossary. Level 64, yeah, I'm reaching the peak every Tuesday night for the geeks and the neeks. Powering down now, let the cooling fan spin. Tomorrow night we do it all over again. Check the log, save the game, let the credits roll by, underneath the glow of a digital sky. Total Trek plays, Total Trek plays, Total Trek plays. We out. Total Trek plays. Total Trek plays.
What is going on, everybody? I am Total Trek, and we are live. Ready to play some Pac-Man. Actually need that. Just the cords in the way. Hate cords. But where would we blah 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 blah. Where would we be without them? That is the question. Let us move over into, bam, there we go. All right. Pac-Man. Let's get us some Pac-Man going. There we are. Okay, so we are running this on a, what's up, Timmy Witham on YouTube. How's it going today? Very nice to see you. How was WrestleMania? Because I didn't watch it. Yes, Pac-Man is a true classic. time was classic. It was the very first video game I ever played. I try to get a little bit more comfortable here. Very first video game I ever played. I was 5 years old. My mother took me to the laundromat with her, and they had a Pac-Man cabinet at the laundromat, and it was 1981, and she gave me a quarter, set me up on the stool, and I played my very first video game ever. And then as soon as that game was over, I looked at mom and begged her for another quarter, which she gave me. And then she gave me another quarter and another quarter, and then she said that's enough. But I was hooked. I was hooked from that moment, and it was Pac-Man that hooked me. So um, we will wait a couple of minutes for the people on Twitch because apparently some ads just popped up, and then we will play some Pac-Man. So what we are playing today is we're going to start with what we actually got, because these are actually Pac-Man ports. And so in 1982, when they ported Pac-Man to the very first video game console that it was ever ported to, was the Atari VCS, which eventually ended up being called the Atari 2600. Okay, so for practical purposes, we'll just call it the Atari 2600. When Pac-Man was ported to the 2600, what we ended up getting resembled nothing like the arcade version of Pac-Man. It ended up looking more like just a Pac-Man clone, and it barely resembled Pac-Man at all. And so just give me 1 second here. So yeah, I mean, it didn't stop us from playing it, but it was Pac-Man in name only. Just give me 1 second here. Wonderful. Okay. There we go. There we are. This was the Pac-Man that we got for the Atari 2600. And let me tell you, very underwhelming. What you see, the ghosts are flickering on screen, and this layout did not even closely resemble, excuse me, did not even closely resemble what we got in the arcade. But let's go ahead and play it so that you can get the full experience. Oops, wrong controller. And for some reason, there were 5 ghosts on the screen. Oh. So, yeah, well, I mean, we'll try that one more time, but oh. I'm not trying to get eaten by these ghosts either. This game is barely playable. So, yep, that's the Pac-Man that we got. And like I said, this ilk is barely playable. Oh. Seriously, that hit detection was horrible. Alright, I think I've had enough of Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. Let's, So, a homebrew developer decided to take the Pac-Man, or decided that he would take the resources that they used to make Pac-Man for the Atari 2600, and one second here, there we go, and he said, let me see if I can make an arcade accurate version of Pac-Man for the 2600 using the exact same resources that they used back in 1982. And so he went about doing that. And what the end result was titled Pac-Man 4K, because the Pac-Man we got used up less than 4K of RAM, because that was all the developers had, because back in those days chipsets were enormously expensive. Okay, enormously. And so all Atari could spare was a 4 kilobyte ROM chipset. And so and they it was not uncommon in those days for programmers to only be given a few weeks to crank out a game. So, using the same resources, but also taking his time. And another thing that was also very common back in those days was for a video game to be developed by one, maybe three programmers tops. That was the team. E.T. was programmed by one guy at home. Like, he didn't even bother going to work. He just got out of bed and went to work. He did that in 5 weeks. They gave him 5 weeks to crank out a game. He didn't sleep for 5 weeks. And so, understandably so, this is Pac-Man, if given the same resources, the developers had enough time to actually put together a decent port of Pac-Man. And it was called Pac-Man 4K. And as you can see, just from that demo screen, this looks very, very close to the arcade version of Pac-Man. Like, look at that. Yeah, the ghosts do flicker quite a bit, but they look like ghosts. You can tell which ghost is which. And Pac-Man definitely looks and behaves just like Pac-Man. So, let's give it a whirl. And already you can tell that it sort of sounds like the arcade version of Pac-Man. It is certainly a lot more playable. Ooh, he got me. All right. Oh, man. No way. He cheated. Let's try that again. But this is definitely a lot more fun to play. If I had gotten this in 1982 for the Atari 2600 opposed to what we did get, I would have been a happy kid. Ooh. Going the wrong way here. Ah! Got them all. Ugh. This is the Atari we should have gotten. And believe me, like, yeah, Atari for 2600 sold like hotcakes. I'm not gonna lie, it sold like hotcakes. But this would have really sold like hotcakes. Oh man, that red ghost is like faster than anything. You're not gonna outrun it, you know. But that was also indicative of the arcade version too. Oh. But like even the ghost being in pursuit, that sounds like the arcade version. Ooh. Ooh. Why am I following the ghost? Without dying. It even has the real fruit for the stages to represent the different levels. Oh, I forgot that ghost went through there. Oh, I couldn't get to it in time. Stage 3. The only thing missing from this port are the cutscenes. Well, I made it to Peach that time. So, as good as this game looks, the same guy decided to go one better because after 1982, chipsets became a little bit cheaper, and Atari had started using 8 kilobyte chipsets to make their games. And so the guy started asking, well, what would Pac-Man for the Atari 2600 look like if it had a full 8 kilobyte ROM? And so he did it. He made an 8 kilobyte version of Pac-Man. I believe this is it right here. Nope. Nope, that's not it. This is it. And as you can see right away, it has an intro screen and even that demo screen. Like, look at that. Like, you can't even hear it yet. And it already looks even better than the 4K version did. So let's go ahead and play it and see what it really looks like. But I mean, like, look at that. You can, there's actual titles on the screen. And this is supposed to be for the Atari 2600. That, it wasn't unheard of for something like this to happen, but to have lettering that small on an Atari 2600 game, that was unheard of. This sounds like the Atari game, or like the arcade version. Almost exactly. The movement is very fluid, it's very playable. Oh, wow. Yeah? This is incredible. This is more playable than the NES version. I'm sorry, but the NES version looks good, but this is way more playable. Yep, that's on me. Hang on a second. Hello. What's up? Later? Like maybe 4 o'clock? Okay. Maybe 3 o'clock. Okay. All right, bye. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a stream right now, so. All right, bye. Sorry about that. That was my mother. Okay. So let's play some more of that. Had we gotten this version of Pac-Man for the Atari 2600? I mean, it was already... Everyone already had Atari. Like, everyone had Atari. But... Man... This kills. Like, I would have been happy with the 4K version, but this? Oh. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, every time I'm dying, I can't blame it on a controller. The controls are so fluid. Come on, come get me. There's barely any flicker either. Ow. I got slicked. Yeah, let's just go ahead and clear this out. I'm trying to get past the second stage so I can show you the cutscene. Alright. Now I have a better chance of showing you the cutscene. Oh man, they got me. Yep, they got me again. Okay, no more screwing around. Let's clear this. So that's the cutscene. Not exactly like the arcade version, but it gets the point across. Ah, there you go. You know, I want to play this some more. I'm hooked on this. I feel like the kid that got robbed of what could have been. Got a free man. And now the ghosts are pissed. Oh! Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, they're starting to get past. They got me. Gobbled him up. Oh, wow. See. Wow. Nice. That was a good run. My high score was 21,530. I know you guys can't see it on the live stream. Let me see if I can fix that for you. There you go. Now you can see it. Hey, you see too much of it now. They just left well enough alone. Oh, that's why. There we go. Fixed it. Well, so that 21,530. That's a respectable score. Especially for it being an Atari 2600 port. But again, that version is just so. It looks good. It feels good. It plays good. I have, for it being an Atari 2600 port, I have absolutely no complaints about Pac-Man 8K. I have none, not a single complaint for it being on such a primitive video game console. This is what an 8K cart of Pac-Man could have looked like. And truth be told, the guy that made the guy that made these ports, he ended up carting them. And you can get these, you can get physical copies of these games. You can buy them. Like, they're out there on the internet. And I'll probably get a couple. I'll get a 4K and an 8K copy of this game, and play it on my natively on my Atari 7800 Plus. But this is incredible. Like, it really makes me wish we could have gotten this back in 1982, 83, somewhere around there. But anyway, let us move on to. I did not get double feature yet. That has not come in. But let's go ahead and move on to. Oh, hang on. I gotta unplug this. And plug in this. This is Pac-Man for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Mm. Nah. Yeah, the controller wouldn't go down. Oh! Okay. So I have no problem with the look of Pac-Man for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Looks great. You know, for an 8-bit console, it looks really, really good. Sounds okay. You know, in my opinion, it could have sounded better, but it sounds okay. My problem with the Nintendo Entertainment version, the NES version of Pac-Man is this right here. This controller was not meant for Pac-Man. This right here. That 4-directional D-pad was not meant for Pac-Man. Pac-Man was designed to be played with a joystick. It was meant for a joystick. And with the Nintendo Entertainment System, unless you had an NES Advantage, which I have one of those, but I can't exactly plug it into something like this, which is an NES Classic. Unless you had an NES Advantage, your gameplay, like when I'm going up and I'm racing toward, I can clearly get away, but I'm racing toward two ghosts. I'm racing toward Blinky and Pinky, and I just let myself get gobbled up by them. I'm trying to push down, and it's not working. Yeah, this was not meant to be played with Pac-Man. Dang it. Thought better of it. Okay, here's the cutscene for the NES version. Oh! Last second. Got it. I'm dead. I have one more in reserve. Things are starting to speed up. Yikes! Alright. Let me get something to drink here. I kind of want to go back to the Atari ports. Those, to me, were a whole lot more fun. That's just my opinion. Yeah, the NES version looks great. It sounds pretty good, but man, I just hate playing. I love the Nintendo Entertainment System controller. Don't get me wrong. I don't have any complaints with this. But this should not be paired with Pac-Man. It just shouldn't. Help if I turn the controller on, wouldn't it? All right. Ah! I'm not outrunning that red ghost. Ever. Now, does this look better than the NES version? Obviously, Ray Charles could see that it doesn't. But this is impressive for the 2600. And it's more playable. And it doesn't feel any more like Pac-Man than the NES version, but it feels more playable. Oh! I was robbed. You know, it sort of feels like if I get caught by the ghosts, because of the way the gameplay is, the controller is, how responsive everything is, if I get caught and ate by the ghosts, I have no one to blame but myself. Yeah, that was me. Oh, he had me worked up. What was my score last time? I think it was 21,553. I came that close to getting it. Let's see if I can beat it this time around. Oh, see, that was me. Now, do I know what it's like to play with this on an actual Atari joystick? No, I'm not. I'm not playing on a joystick. But you know, just with the controller I'm playing with. Whew. This feels really good. Oh, yeah, that was me. It is just a horrible run. Made some pretty boneheaded mistakes. Ah, see? But the only complaint I do have is you don't get much of a warning when they're getting ready to turn back from the blue ghosts into their regular form. So that's about the only complaint I do have about this version of Pac-Man. What? If I have any other complaint, it's that Blinky flickers more than any of the other ghosts. And when he does, he becomes very translucent. Got 'em all. Ah, I got caught. I'll finish it up on this one. But it's looking like I'm going to beat my high score. Oh, jeez. Nope, I didn't. Hang on 1 second here. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Let's give it another go. Chomp, chomp. Oh, I missed him. Ah! I'll get the free man on the next stage. Oh! This is Peach stage. I can't be goofing around on Peach stage. Oh! Ran right into him. Gotcha. Oh! That sucks. This is gotta be my favorite Atari port right here. It's Pac-Man 8K. No. Why did I do that? No! That was underwhelming. Let's just give that one up. Oh! Never get into a race with Blinky. There's a reason he's called Blinky. If you blink, you miss him. Alright. Oh, I am doing horribly right now. I'm better than this. Oh! He pivoted. Oh, come on. Yeah, I know Game Slayer, right? But in all honesty, this is a very impressive port, and I know I've been beating this record like a dead horse throughout this stream, but this right here is a very impressive port of Pac-Man for the Atari 2600. I'm sorry, it just is. There's no two ways around it. If they could have did this good back in 1982 with porting Pac-Man to the Atari 2600, I mean, geez. My hat's off to the dude that did this. And you can even choose your levels. Look at this. Let's try that. Man. Wow. Hmm. Yeah. I almost cleared it. I almost cleared it. Yeah, they got me. Ah. This is intense. Oh, that's what I thought I was going to do it. I accomplished all that on my first guy. I'm beating this. Bingo! Oh, wow. It lasted longer than I expected it to. Got him. Ah. I have played Galaga Pac-Man and Dig Dug, and I am a god at Galaga. Are you now? Really? You're a god at Galaga. I have a mini arcade cabinet, like a handheld arcade cabinet of Galaga, the arcade version of Galaga. And yeah, that game is good. We'll have to get some Galaga going one of these days. I think I had Galaga for the NES. Oh! Oh! It's like once you're committed, you're committed. I have to get the cart, the physical carts of this game. No way! I lost my way on that one. And the AI is so intuitive on this. Like Blinky is just like, "Oh, you're gonna juke? Okay, I'm going that way too." Like he anticipates every move you're gonna make at that stage. Like I don't remember the guy's name that did this port, but whoever it is, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. You can get the level 16 in Galaga on your first try, Slayer. Ah. Wow. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get it. There we go. Oh! Now that was a flex right there. Oh no! Well, in just those 3 stages, I came close to making my high score that I previously had, which was 21,533. So that's respectable. Running out of pop. Down to my last one. Well, not my last one, but My last one. Yeah. Ah! Okay. Yep. That did it. Man. Alright. Oh, well, I guess I'm doing another one. I did not mean to do that. But it's like you said in the arcade, you're not going to turn down a free quarter or a free credit. Didn't matter what game it was for. You weren't going to turn that credit down. A free game is a free game. Oh, what? I thought I went through the tunnel and I was looking over here on that side of the screen. Like, I'm waiting on that side of the screen for me to emerge, and I'm all the way up at the top left-hand corner. I'm like, oh! Alright, that's a free man. Let's see how far I can get. Nope. Should have pivoted a lot sooner. Oh! He was waiting! Oh, man! I don't know about you guys, but I'm having way too much fun. Let's go back. I want to see if the 4K version also has the level select. It does. It does. It's fast. The gameplay isn't as responsive on this version as it is on the 8K. Oh, no, no. Yeah. This is doing so well, too. Man. That's harder to play. See if I can do it. Oh! Nope. He wasn't going to let me get away. It's harder in the sense that Pac-Man doesn't move as fluidly in the 4K version as he does in the 8K version. And the ghosts flicker a whole lot more in the 4K version. And so it's a lot harder to detect them, especially against the black screen. So when you're trying to like pivot and the gameplay gets intense and you're just like, where's that ghost? Where's this ghost? It's a lot harder to pinpoint them on the 4K version because they tend to blend in a lot more. And that's just the limitations of the hardware, more so on the cartridge than it is, the actual console. Because, like I said, the console can handle an 8K version, so which is an absolute work of art. That game is a master. That is the Pac-Man we should have gotten, hands down. Yeah. Yeah. But it looks like I'll clear it this time around. Maybe not. Oh, he wasn't playing around. He's going right for me. Yep. See, and here's my question. Does the NES version have level select? Let's find out. Because if the NES version doesn't have level select, then oh, hang on a second here. I don't think it has level select. And is there? I wonder if there's like a code. There is not a level select on the NES port of Pac-Man. What is going on with my laptop? What? There we go. No. Give me a second here, guys. Like, my whole laptop is getting screwy. There we go. Sort of. I'm back. That was weird. So there is no level select. Now I'm curious, is there a level select on the official Atari 2600 Pac-Man port? Let's see. So that would be this one right here. Okay. There is a level select. So, wow. So there is a whole lot of things that other console ports of Pac-Man did that the Nintendo version did not do. Maybe Sega was onto something when they said Sega does what Nintendo don't. I'm just saying. Because, hell, even Atari did what Nintendo don't. Now, I'm going to give full disclosure that that's really not Atari's fault. Namco is a third-party developer. That's the fact that there's no level select in the NES version of Pac-Man. That's on Namco. That is not on. That's not on Atari or on Nintendo. There could have been a level select there, but especially considering Atari put a level select in their ports. Now, like I said, I don't have it yet, but I did order Double Feature. I probably should have ordered it a whole lot sooner than I did, but the Double Feature also has for both versions, the 2600 version and the 7800 version, has a maze randomizer option where you can actually randomize the mazes. And so that's pretty cool. That, Atari went back in and they did that for the Atari 2600 port. But it still doesn't make up for the fact that that is the worst port of Pac-Man anyone is ever going to play. It's the worst port in existence. And I can't get behind it. I just can't. I played it at the beginning of this stream, and I gave it 3 tries, and I just couldn't get behind it. But anyway, more Pac-Man 8K. Give us more. More. Plug this controller back in. I'm telling you, laptops need to come with more USB ports. More than 2. Oh, come on! He knew where I was going. Oh, I didn't move up fast enough. That was just stupid on my part. Why did I do that? I'm gonna get them all. Yes! That was stupid. No way! I was right there. Give it one more go. What the hell? Yeah, my biggest complaint is with Blinky. When he flickers, which doesn't happen too often, but when he does, he almost gets translucent and he becomes very difficult to see. I wasn't going to be denied. You got me twice. You're not getting me a third time. What in the world am I doing? Alright. So, you might ask, if I'm not playing this on an Atari, what am I playing it on? Obviously an emulator, but it isn't an emulator that I downloaded onto my laptop. It's actually one that's played right through a web browser, and it's called Javatari. Um, I'll put a link for it in the I'll put a link for it right down here on both YouTube and Twitch. Why is the dog barking? There you go. There's the link. You can tap on that link, open it up. It'll open up a web page for Javatari. and that will play any Atari 2600 ROM that you have on your device. And it not only works on computers, on PCs, it also works on mobile devices. So if you have ROMs on your mobile device, you could just go to Javatari and it will play all of your ROMs. You just open up the ROM. So, you know, you could feasibly have the entire uh, Atari 2600 library, and it'll play it, provided that it's a good ROM. Unlike this right here. Yeah. If it's a bad ROM, it'll fail, obviously. But good ROMs, there you go. It even works with homebrew ROMs and, you know, unlicensed games, you name it. As long as they work on an Atari 2600, they will work on Javatari. I don't know that it will play 52. I'm pretty sure it won't play 5200 games, but I don't know that it will play 7800 games. But I know for a fact it will play 2600. So, and that it has a, you know, on and off switch, color, black and white, game select and game reset. So, you know, it pretty much has all the knobs and buttons that the actual Atari 2600 had. And the bottom of the emulator, where it has the exact same layout as the Atari 2600. So, but yeah, that is Pac. Those are the homebrew Pac-Man ports, and you know, I could sit and play them and play them and play them, but I have to get me something to eat. I have not eaten all day long. All I have had are these 3 pops right here. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, you know, and share and engage in, you know, indulging in my love of Pac-Man. Like I said, very first video game I ever played, I was 5 years old, and I have been playing that game ever since. So I love Pac-Man, absolutely love it. Anyway, YouTube, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for giving me some of your time today and watching me play some Pac-Man and talk about Pac-Man. I love you. I think you're awesome. But this is where we say goodbye until 7 o'clock tonight, where I come back on live stream for Metroid Monday. Hopefully, if I can get the controller to work, I will be playing through the demo of Metroid Prime 2D. It's the 2D version of Metroid Prime that Nintendo had discontinued. They shut it down. It was a fan-made thing, and Nintendo did not back it. And so, because it was an unlicensed thing, unlicensed version of their, you know, IP, they decided, nah, we're not doing this, and they shut the fans down. They issued a cease and desist and demanded they pull all copies of the demo off the internet. Well, I have a demo. I was able to grab a demo before that happened, and so at the beginning of that stream, I will be playing through the demo of Metroid Prime 2D, provided I can get the controller support to work, which I partially have it there. I can move Samus around, I just can't aim. So, but after that, we will be playing Super Metroid X Fusion and getting through that. So, stay tuned for that tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, YouTube, you have a wonderful afternoon. Timmy Witham, call me Kendall. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you both, and we will see you tonight.